Now you can give us an intro, Eli.
Yeah, all right. The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised.
See, it didn't give you energy, Eli.
It did, man.
Yeah.
I noticed the Japanese trailer has like Rogue's got bigger tits.
So American. Oh, let's go back to American ass, Japanese tits. Which one?
Yeah,
Eli, are we going to talk about this tonight? I'm gonna leave it up to you.
The great debate: T versus A. Which one?
Which
rules them
all? You a fan of, right? Well, I'm gonna let you decide whether or not we go there, Eli. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds New Bully host Leroy, aka the Filthy Flat Scan, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka the Brown Yeti.
There you go, Eli. You know what a flat scan is, right?
I think so.
Okay, so for people don't know what a flat scan is, and this wasn't in the X-Men cartoon, it's X-Men related, but it's what the mutants' racial slur for humans are. That's what it is. Like they have muties, yeah. So it's vice versa. So yeah.
Oh no, I did not know what that was.
Yeah,
was thinking,
I don't know what you were thinking of. I don't know if I want to think about it. Matter of fact, let me bring you in. Shoot, boom. Okay, I was too huge. Get me out of there. Anyway. Yeah, so we're back with another episode, and we kind of already telegraphed what we're going to talk about this episode, but we're just going to jump into it, and we actually got a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about it. But first things first, before we go anything, Eli, a documentary dropped this week, and I just want to address it real quick. It was Freak Nick, at Hulu. Yeah, so I just want everybody to know, if you watch the Freak Nick video, I haven't seen it myself, but if you watch the Freak Nick documentary and you see a blue Trans Am and a guy standing next to it, that wasn't me. That was AI. Yes, they had it back in the 90s. So yes. Anyway, we're going past that. We just move on to it. So oh shit, we're coming in hot. I thought it was just AI. Shout out to the AI, but yeah, who else we got it here?
Hey, Jakey Poo.
Jake, what it do, Jake? Okay.
Jake of New York, #1.
Yes, Jake, you are gonna be the first. I want to sound I love
B&T.
B.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. Yeah. I thought he said BLT first. I can't read this shit, man. BLT.
I'm struggling myself, man.
Jake's hungry, man.
Hungry for ass and titties, but yeah. Anyway, we could jump into it. Like I said, we're not gonna do any lollygagging or shenanigans. We're just gonna jump into it because yes, I saw a thing. I saw this weekend, and Eli, I do want to say something because I think I made a bet, not with you. You know what? You made the bet too, Eli, because we are as one. So if I make a dumbass bet, you also make that dumbass bet by
association.
Yes. So
what'd you get me into this time?
Okay, like no death threats this time. You not have a Mexican cartel coming after you this time, Eli. I said too much, my fault. Anyway, anyway, what I was talking about is that I made a bet last week that I was saying that Invincible was going to be better than X-Men 97. I was like, Invincible this and 97 this. So which one is better? Which one is better this week? And I'm going to just give you off the rip what do I think is better. Out the last 2 Invincible episodes that came out versus the last 2 X-Men episodes that came out. And I will say this, X-Men was better.
Okay. Yeah.
So you know what happened, Eli? Whenever we make a bet, 2 things got to happen. I have to eat and or drink something nasty. So I went a step beyond Dr. Pepper. I have Mr. Pibb. I don't even know what this is. People telling me
it's dollar store Dr. Pepper.
It's not even Dr. Pepper. It's like bootleg Dr. Pepper. That's what it says. So I would have got Mr. Pibb. So I learned my lesson. And for Eli's punishment, he has to be butt naked on the stream while doing the helicopter.
That's all I've been doing. I'm always butt naked.
Now, if you don't know what the helicopter is, do not Google it. For the love of God, Jake. Do not Google it. I cannot be held responsible if you catch a virus afterward. So yes. Yes, but anyway, because I said that Invincible was going to be better than X-Men 97. It wasn't better than X-Men 97. I will take my sip of Mr. Pibb. So. Oh goddamn! Oh shit!
Is it coming out of your nose, man?
What the fuck? I wasn't ready. I forgot. Nasty fuck. Here for the night. Shit. I'd rather have. Oh shit! It's still there, Eli. It's still there. I still taste it. Anyway, what we're talking about? You got to support Eli OnlyFans. Dan, give me a chance to recover from this Dr. Pip. Yes, if you want to see Eli's helicopter, subscribe to the Patreon. Anyway, let's talk about X-Men 97. Let's go into it. So, what do I think about X-Men 97? I actually took notes, but I'm gonna just go off top of head so we think about it. Eli, it was awesome. That's all I got to say.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Was it awesome?
Say about it. Now I was talking. Now the reason it's awesome, not because it was. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna just give you a score right now, Eli. It was perfect, but flawed. But here's the thing: its flaws made it perfect. If that makes any sense. Okay. The reason I got to go into it because the thing is, the best and worst thing about this is that it was a replication. Well, they're doing their best to recreate the old show. So it feels like the old show, smells like the old show, tastes like the old show. But if you really get up close to it, it's not the old show. And I'll go into it in a second. And I actually say that as a compliment. Oh, can I jump in? A new series without watching? That's what I'm about to talk about, Jake. Okay. Okay. Because like I said, this is basically continuing from season 5, which was 1997, which none of us watched. We all quit watching the show by then. So none of us knew the ending of this show that Professor X got assassinated. None of us knew that, this show, do you have to watch all 5 seasons before you jump into this show? No, hell no. You do not have to do that. You can completely jump into this show not having any idea of what the X-Men were. And you can be fine because the show it pretty much updates you. It's pretty much like a jumping off point to it. It introduces the X-Men, it introduces the new powers, introduces 2 new characters. They have just like Jubilee was in the first show where she was like your point of view character. Sunspot is your point of view character in this show. So he kind of like
Sunspot.
Sunspot is in the show. Yeah, Sunspot is the new recruit. So he's in this. So everything he's going through, he's introducing you to what the X-Men are going on right now. So that's going on with that. Also, what's going on with this one? That the thing is that it's not really season 6. Don't think this is picking up season 6 because there's a lot of stuff changed up. For instance, the animation, when you watch the animation is what you think the old show looked like 30 years ago in your mind. It's what you thought it looked like. I'm gonna burst everybody's bubble right now. The old show did not look like this. You think it looked like this. It didn't. The animation was choppy. The animation was cheap. Each season, the animation got worse and worse and worse. So that's why we stopped watching season 5. You really watch the animation sucked. It was terrible. So, but the first season, you can tell they had a little bit of money, but it's like that. So this is Disney with money. This is money. This is like what would happen if that old X-Men 90s cartoon was redone by a 90s a new 2000 anime studio. That's what it is. This is almost borderline anime-ish with the way it feels. Like it looks like the old show, but it's not the old show. They're doing stuff that the old show did not do. The animations, the action, none of the action animations were anything like this. This is Disney pouring money into this. They have like actual angles, like Dutch angles. I wish I had a screenshot, but I don't. They never did any of the stuff in the old show. This is new. Also, what I was shocked in this, they made Cyclops cool. That's like the most shocking thing I've ever seen. I never expected that. I was like, okay, so they made Cyclops like he's the coolest X-Man. Like, what? Because and then people saying, well, if you read the comics, then you would know that Cyclops cool. No, fuck you. Anybody listening to this, I've read more X-Men comics than you have. Cyclops sucks. Sorry. He just
Cyclops never been cool as far as
if Cyclops and Leonardo are your favorite superheroes growing up, you grew up to be a cop. That's just all it is to me. I'm just saying.
In fact, every time I tried to read X-Men comics, I'd be like, man, this guy sucks.
Right.
No wonder I don't read this shit.
Right, but in this show, if you don't know it, like if you don't know anything about X-Men, you walk in this your first X-Men thing ever, you're gonna walk out this thinking Cyclops is the coolest X-Men.
Like what does Jean Grey see in this fucking asshole?
No, but if you watch this show, you get it. You okay? I get it, Jean Grey. This sexy motherfucker here. But any other time, you're just like, why are you with this boring ass cop? So he's there. That's awesome.
Teacher's pet, yeah.
Right.
Little apple polisher and shit.
Right, but no, they made it cool. And I dig into it. I did behind the scenes cooler because the thing is, like, one of the lead animators played Marvel vs. Capcom, and Cyclops was like his main character on that game. So that's why when he animated, he was doing Marvel vs. Capcom shit. Like, they were showing the shit he was doing in the game versus the show, and it matched up. Like, you motherfucker, I can't hate you for that. If you love Cyclops, you sneaking in Easter eggs like that all the time. So yeah, so that's awesome. I'm trying to think what else on the show. Okay, so the show is set in 1997, and it's weird because they remind you it's set in 1997. Like, the very first shot of the whole show, you see the World Trade Center. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Jubilee. Now, I do want to say, now here's where we get into some flaws, because Jubilee is using all kind of slang. She's a young person, but she's using 2000 slang, not 90 slang. She was like, that guy, check out that guy's bling. Nobody said bling in the 90s. That was in the 2000s. I did research.
What were we saying in the 90s? Tight.
I don't know what we were saying. It was so long I forgot. I know I was saying it. We were saying tight. We were saying fresh. All this shit like that. We weren't saying
snap.
Snap. But we weren't saying his bling. We weren't saying it because bling was originated by Lil Wayne in 1999 when the song Bling Bling came out. So they didn't get popular to 2000s when the Hot Boys album came out. So nobody was saying bling before then. She was also saying bestie. Nobody was saying bestie in the 90s. I don't know what we were saying then, but yeah. But they threw in some other stuff. They threw in somebody had a pager. Nobody had a cell phone.
A pager. So, I thought they forgot about those.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Pager. Okay. So they really going there. So they want
antiques.
You to feel, yeah. They want you to feel like you're back in the 90s. I don't have it, but Gambit had that that cutoff shirt. That what do they call it? I can't remember what they call those shirts. Remember that shirt that Johnny Depp wore in Nightmare on Elm Street?
Oh, like the dude, like the jock crop top.
The crop tops. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
So he's wearing a crop top, and people are saying that, they turned Gambit gay. Like, no, that's what we wore back in the 90s.
Fucking yeah, jocks wore that shit. Like, dudes, like
the manliest men wore that.
Yeah, wore those things.
Right.
Shit.
So people wearing it now, they like, what the hell is Gambit wear? Like, that's what we wore. Oh, forgot.
Yeah, we're old. I'm an 80s baby, so I think I'm older than Leroy. See,
that's why we know all this stuff. That's what I'm saying. We were there. We were there on the ground floor when this happened. So yeah. So it's a lot of stuff going on in this show, and there's a lot of whole Easter eggs. Now, Eli, the thing that shocked me, and before I get into it, the thing that shocked me is that, and that's why I'm saying it's not like a continuation of the old show, because they really are doing their own thing. The first two episodes set up a whole lot of plot lines that are coming directly from the comics that the old show never dealt with. And I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna see if I got them pulled up. Let's see. What do we got here? Madeline Pryor, the second episode. Okay, so Jean Grey has a baby, and if you don't, I'm spoiling for everybody for the latest season that don't know what's going on. For don't know, the baby that she had at the end of the second episode was Nathan Summers, who is not him. Where is it? And not him. Cable. Anyway, it's Cable.
Yeah, Cable was on. I remember Cable on the show.
Cable was on the old show, right?
Yeah.
But on the old show, they never explained where he came from. Like, they never said it.
Okay, Madeline Pryor, was she not on?
Madeline Pryor was on the old show, or was she? Maybe she was the whole time. We don't know. But the point was, at the end of the episode, not Freak Nick. I'm completely screwing up. Oh, she was cool. I'm talking about her in a second. Madeline Pryor was in the episode. So Jean Grey had a baby. She had Nathan Summers, but at the end of the episode, Jean Grey showed up. So the internet is completely fucked up. The internet don't know what the hell's going on. That's Madeline Pryor. She's a Mr. Sinister clone of Jean Grey. That's Cable's mom in the comics.
I remember Sinister being on the old show.
Sinister on the show. And
I remember I remember when was it when they were stealing all the psychics or wherever the fuck, and him and Apocalypse, and they were trying to, I forget. X-Men shit.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about it. Like, that's why I almost recommend not watching the old show, because the thing is, they know that you haven't watched the old show, because when they refer to stuff that happened, like, oh, remember that time when the president was kidnapped by a sentinel and they tried to replace him with a robot to take over? Like, I don't remember that shit. But hearing them say that shit just sounded hilarious. So I was laughing my ass off just them recounting old X-Men plot lines from the old TV show. So they know you didn't watch that shit, or you watched it, maybe forgot about it. They know that shit.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
And they know that. They don't care. That's why a lot of the plot lines going forward are not plot lines from the old show. It's new plot lines. Madeline Pryor wasn't in the old show. Also, another plot line they were doing was, I keep going to her. Anyway, Valerie Cooper. I'm going to talk about her also because I don't remember her in the old show. If she was in the old show, I don't remember that. She is from the comics. She is from comics back in the 90s. But if she was in the old show, I don't remember her in it. But she's like a main figure in the new show. They did the trial of Magneto in the new show. And he's wearing that dumbass costume in it too. so people are wondering, why is Magneto wearing that costume? Because it's rest from the comics. So, and I'll talk about the second episode also. What else we got here?
Wait, they didn't they do that? Didn't they do a trial? Who was it? What was in? Oh, that was Beast. Wasn't Beast in jail or something?
The trial.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, now they're doing the trial of Magneto. They did that. Okay. Yeah. Also, Eli, they're doing the Rogue Magneto relationship.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't in the old show. People are all fucked up. Like, where'd that come from? It's from the comics. They did the comics. They went to the Savage Land. Somehow Magneto can nullify Rogue's power, so she's like the only.
Didn't they lose their powers in the Savage Land or some shit?
They did. Yeah, and Magneto and Rogue were down there. So since they had no powers, and Magneto was the nearest person to her, she's like, "Hey, let's go," And plus, in like Age of Apocalypse, they had like kids and shit.
My ass has never been slapped.
Magneto using mutant powers and shit. What else we got here? Oh man, the end of the episode, Eli. I'm spoiling everything for you. So
go ahead, man.
The end of the episode, Storm got shot.
Storm got shot.
So I'm thinking they killed her, but it actually did worse than killing her. They turned her human. I'm like, oh shit, that's weird. And you can they completely fucked her up. So, and she basically left the team at the end of the episode. So for those that don't know what happened, no, they did not write Storm off the show. She did not get on the bus and get off the show. They're actually adapting the life-death storyline where she lost her powers in the comics.
Is that Forge?
That's Forge.
That's Forge.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if Forge is going to be in the show, but he was in that storyline in the comics. I know that much.
Well, he popped up from time to time on the old show.
On the old show. He did pop up time to time in the old shows. He popped up. So basically what happened in the life-death storyline is that Storm lost her powers. She got shot, lost her powers. And she left the team. And fell in love with Forge. That was their first thing of their love story.
Yeah.
But she didn't know Forge was the dude that made the gun that turned her human.
Damn.
Plot twist. Yeah.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So I'm spoiling everything for everybody later on in the season. All this shit is going to happen. I don't know if Forge is showing up, but that's how the storyline went in the comics. And they will adapt that storyline in this season.
There was a debate. I think was it on the Native comic book page? There was a discussion about who should Storm should have been with, T'Challa or Forge.
Well, in the comics, she was with Forge longer than she was with T'Challa.
Yeah,
T'Challa was more or less like, I hate to say it, it was more like a stunt, a gimmick. It was thing to sell comics, but the Forge Storm thing that went like damn near a decade in the comics. Like they were together like a long time. So
didn't he go, or she went to hell? Who went to hell? He went to hell for her or whatever. When he was doing that, he was fighting the what was that fucking native demon guy, adversary or whatever.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't the demon bear. It was another villain. He went to the spirit world trying to save her and shit. Kind of like the Swamp Thing.
Okay. Yeah. Hell, she's in hell now trying to get Magneto. I'm not reviewing
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I'm not going to review that book. But
I read that first issue. Yeah.
It's basically Dante. What was it? Dante's Inferno. I ain't got time for it.
Yeah. Going to the different levels of.
Yeah. We know the story. We know where it's going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all that's going on right now. Now, can we get deeper, Eli? Can we get deeper into the episode?
Go deep. Ball.
Okay, because not only because the thing is with the X-Men, you got to remember they're topical, they're political, they're woke. Now,
always has been.
Yeah, the first two episodes, and I don't even think people caught it. I don't think people caught on to what they were doing. But I caught it. I caught on what they're doing, and not going to admit to it. But that first episode, now, what's the biggest threat that everybody is afraid of right now? Well, one of the biggest threats right now, AI.
Oh, okay.
So who do they fight in the first episode? Sentinels.
Okay,
and Master Mole is taking over the Sentinels, and he's trying to kill everybody, humans, mutants, whatever like that. So, like I said, the X-Men been dealing with AI before anybody. Well, I ain't gonna say anybody, but before it was like a big popular thing to hate. You know, what is this? X-Men storylines.
You're not the only one, Jake. Join the club.
The house of the fall of the rise of the it's confusing, Jake. It's confusing. Yeah.
There's a reason why I've never been much of an X-Men fan.
I read a lot of this shit, and even this shit just like, wait, what?
Whose
grandfather? That your own grandmother? Okay, whatever.
Everybody's
related. Everybody's fucking and related. Like,
what? This shit's gonna give me a migraine.
Okay, but that's the first episode. Like I said, dealing with Sentinels, dealing with AI, all that shit like that. But let's go back to not that. I keep hitting everything. The Trial of Magneto. Let's go back to Trial of Magneto.
Okay.
Now, I went back and reread this issue, The Trial of Magneto, and see if it was the same as the new episode that came out there right now. It has the similar beats, but it's not the same. Because in the comic book, they fought the Fenris twins. They interrupted to try to kill Magneto. But in the show, it was an insurrection. So
shit.
And I think that flew completely over people's heads. That people didn't catch it. Yes, and it was felt very January 6th, but I didn't say it online. I didn't say anything about it because people always say I'm reaching and I'm bugging and all stuff like that. You know, that won't.
Dude, well, Friends of Humanity were doing that shit in the old show. They were like protesting, and they were.
And it was the Friends of Humanity that did it. They called it insurrection. That's what I'm saying. They not pretending this shit is flying on people's heads, but that's showing you what they're doing. Magneto was on trial, and the Friends of Humanity didn't want to go after Magneto. They wanted to go after the judges. They were like, we're going to attack y'all for putting him on trial. So I'm like, damn, so I see what you're doing right there. So there's two topical things going on right now. You got the insurrection, and because they didn't even want Magneto to go on trial, and you got AIs. They're tackling both of those topics right now. So I'm like, man, so they updated, the X-Men to nowadays type of time.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like that the Friends of Humanity, that shit was always going on on the old show. Like that was like a plot thread. And just in the comics, no muties. I mean, that was in the comics,
Muties go home, go back.
Yeah, no muties allowed. Yeah, there was all, the bigotry against mutants and shit. I mean, that's always been there. And even I know that,
Right. Okay, can we talk about when X-Men became woke? Because there's a lot of debate on right now, and people keep sending me links and videos or saying, you should watch this. No, the fuck, I shouldn't watch this. But I'm gonna go ahead and say what I think about what's going on right now. So I'm gonna and I've done the research. I've listened to Stan Lee quote what came out of his mouth. I'm gonna quote what came out of his mouth. Now, let's talk about the X-Men right now. Did the X-Men start off woke in 1963 when Stan Lee and Jack Kirby made this book? Was the first issue woke? Not really. Let me go a little bit deeper. No, it wasn't at first. Because Stan Lee, out of his own mouth, he said when he created the X-Men, he was just cranking out another comic. They told him he needed to make another book. He made a superhero book. And what he was doing, he didn't want to come up with ideas for new powers for 5 different people. I just want to just say they're born with them to make it easier for them. Boom. They're born with them. Dude got wings. Dude can shoot out his eyes. Dude got ice. Done. Move out and that's it. However, when the fans started reading the book, they connected with the civil rights. They connected with the metaphor right there. Stan didn't see it at first, but when he got letters back from them, they were telling him, oh, we see what you're doing. We relate to these characters because we understand they're minorities and what they're going through. So when Stan saw that, he started leaning into it. So when people say that Stan Lee's version wasn't woke, bullshit, it was. When he finally got into it, he was leaning into it. He had an Olympic athlete that was banned because they found out he was a mutant. We had Beast rescue the kid, and when they found out he was a mutant, they started fighting him when they found out who he was, and he quit the team and wanted to join Magneto because Magneto started making sense to him because Magneto recruited the Brotherhood.
Well, who's that? Yeah, and then on the show wasn't one of those Friends of Humanity assholes. Wasn't that Sabretooth's son or some shit?
The leader, the leader.
Yeah, and they kicked him out.
And they kicked him out, yeah. All this from the comics. Mystique
yeah.
So, yeah.
Mystique, that's right. Mystique, and then Nightcrawler or his father.
Once they find out that they really gonna get pissed. But
yeah.
Oh man. So that's what's going on with that was so if you want to say that Stan Lee's version of X-Men wasn't woke, that's a fucking lie. No, it did not start off that way, but by issue 5 or 6, it was knee deep into it. He was like, yes, I'm gonna throw this in there. And of course, when Chris Claremont got into it, it was full blown. That's what it was.
Yeah, and let's just note that original X-Men comic got canceled because no one was really reading it, so they canceled.
I'm reading it right now, Eli. It sucks. It really does.
They canceled it.
I'm struggling going through it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they came up with giant size X-Men. That's when you saw Storm. That's when you had Wolverine. That's when you had fucking, all the diverse characters, were there.
You had a Russian in the middle of the Cold War on the team.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. People don't really
Colossus.
Talk about that. Yeah.
Wasn't Thunderbird in that, and
Thunderbird,
yeah. So it's like this whole diverse cast of characters, and that's the book that took off. That's the one that what we know of the X-Men today was from that.
Eli, I'm reading the books right now. I'm struggling. I'm like, man, where's Wolverine? Shit, I can't make it. Angel sucks.
He does suck.
He does suck, but
a fucking rich asshole. Don't want to be a mutant and shit. Fuck that guy.
Right.
That turns into a villain.
Can fly. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody got that power in the X-Men. Like, what else can you do?
Well, Archangel, he's better as Archangel when he's an asshole.
Archangel, yeah, he's cool. Now, I do want to show you this and I want to talk about the intro for a second. I do want to say this: the intro, because they recreated the intro from the old show to this one. Now, I do want to say this: I do like the old intro better. The reason I like the old intro better is because you can tell it was hand drawn, where the new one almost feels kind of CGI-y, video gamey, AI-y.
Okay.
Not to say it's not great. I still love it. I'm not skipping it when I watch it. I'm watching the whole way through. But I'm just saying, if you compare them side by side, you like the other one had, it felt better. Now I do want to show you this, Eli. So if you watch the old show, remember Thunderbird was in the opening scene.
I'm about to say, where the fuck is Thunderbird?
Right. But remember, Thunderbird wasn't in the show. He was only in the intro, like doing the intro scene.
Was that him or was that Warpaint? Because there was
neither one was on the show.
No, there was a couple episodes where was it X Factor?
And it was just show up, yeah.
And I think I think it was probably supposed to be Warpath. But you only see him in the background. He doesn't have any lines. He doesn't do shit. You just see him punching some guy in the background.
Right. That's what I want to show you. So Thunderbird was on the intro of the Brotherhood side. On the new one, they cut him out. He's not there. They replaced it with Emma Frost. So why? I just want to tell you that. I don't know why that's a thing. But
Emma Frost. So was that big guy? What's that dude's name? Big guy? What's that guy's name?
Strong guy.
Yeah. I'll let you go. I don't know what I'm talking about.
There is a guy called Strong Guy, but that's just the thing.
Yeah. Well, that.
So I'm trying to think what else with that one. That's all I got with that one. Like I said, they did it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to touch on there. That's pretty much all I got with that. Like I said, I'm excited. They stuck the landing with these last 2 episodes. They did it. I mean, like I said, there is one flaw, Eli. There is one flaw, major flaw that I got to talk about. Okay, the voice acting. Everybody now, for those who don't know, all the original voice actors came back. Well, most of them did, but there's 2 of them that sound off, and that's Rogue and Wolverine. Wolverine sound like he smokes 3 packs a day now, and I get it because, like I said, it's 30 years later. You're not going to sound the same, but it's rough hearing him now. Now, eventually, I kind of got into a groove and kind of got over like, okay, I finally understand it. But when you first hear Wolverine, it's going to throw you off. And when you hear Rogue, because Rogue back in the 90s, sounds sexy and all this shit like that.
Hey,
but now, but now she sounds like an old lady. Like a herded cat. Like, come on, sugar. Like, no, auntie, don't kiss me. That's what it feels like when you hear it, like in my head. But yeah. So
they couldn't find Cree Summer or somebody.
Yeah, somebody, man. Now that being said, like, can we address the elephant in the
room? Did you study? Did you do your homework and study ass? And
I did, Eli. I did. I wish I didn't go down this rabbit hole, but you made me
cartoon ass. Let's study cartoon ass.
I didn't want to go down this ass. So yes. But for those that haven't been paying attention, there's been a big controversy about Rogue's ass. So the bottom is the old '90s show where Rogue had basically 2 basketballs behind her, versus
and 1 split-second shot.
Yeah, now okay, let's talk about that for a second, because there's been debates on whether or not was Rogue really caked up like that. Like I said, Eli, I've been on, not only been reading X-Men comics, like them old shitty Stan Lee comics, but I've been watching the 90s cartoon also, and I gotta admit, when they cut to Rogue, every now and then, Eli, hey, she's caked up. Now, not every shot is like that, but there are several shots that just have Rogue just lingering shots where you can just know, like, they had fun drawing her. So, it's there.
It was the 90s, man.
It was the 90s. It was the 90s. What are the top 3 animated shows?
Asses.
Huh.
Oh, that's
I'll be honest with you, Jake.
I'd have to think about that.
That is not a thought that crossed my mind.
I
don't have a top 5. I know there are guys that have a top 5 list on that. I'm not that creepy. I don't know.
I know, that's the thing. Is like I see all these all those videos that came out where they're like just freeze framing and like really like going in depth on the size of her ass. A cartoon.
Right. Now
ass.
Eli, I know you think it's a joke, but people are serious about this shit, right?
I know.
Now, do you know why they're serious? That's the rabbit hole I went down.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go down the rabbit hole, because now it's gonna get dumb in a second. It's gonna get dumb. Why people are actually like legit, and I don't know if they're legit mad, but they seem to be legit mad about Assgate, Bootygate. Let's call it Bootygate. Yeah.
Bootygate.
Bootygate. Let's call it Bootygate. Why people, because it's so controversial. Eli, because I'm trying to think. I'm almost losing my train of thought. Because of YouTube grifters.
Yeah, we're losing brain cells just by talking about
I'm like, I really want to talk about, but let's talk about it like that. Because these YouTube grifters out there are making a big deal because they're trying to make it political, because they're trying to say that there's an agenda out there to desexualize women across the board, not just in real life TV or in animation and in video games and all stuff like that. For instance, there's like you saw the new Suicide Squad game that came out, right? I don't have the shot of right now, but they're comparing shots of Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad versus Harley Quinn back in Arkham Knight, where she had like booty. She had booty in that one, and now she don't have booty in this one, and they're saying there's
even though And here's a little fact. And now that we're here, the motion capture of Harley Quinn was a dude.
What, the crying game?
Yeah. The guy who did the motion capture on the old Arkham games for Harley Quinn was a guy.
There you go. So for any of you that was stroking it to that, you were stroking your guy. There you go.
Can't take the boner back, motherfucker.
Who's the woke one? So they're saying they're trying to do that with Rogue also, since they're trying to desexualize across the board and make everybody sexualized. For instance, I'm trying to think. I'm not trying to go there, but let's go there. For instance, like we go back to see like Barbed Wire or any kind, or Tomb Raider, for instance. Like you had Angelina all sexy and shit like that, boobs swinging and shit like that, under boobs like that. But when you see Lara Croft now, she's like none of that. They're trying to say they're trying to make an agenda to desexualize it. Look, if you watch the show, if you watch the 2 episodes, Eli, I promise you, Rogue's ass was the furthest thing from my mind. What I was thinking about was all the robots getting destroyed and Magneto throwing people through buildings and Storm making a tornado out of glass. That's the shit I was thinking about. Rogue's ass was not on my mind. So if you're watching this show and Rogue's ass is on your mind, I don't know, man. You might need to touch grass. Just go outside, man. I don't know.
Or there's plenty of hot chicks out there that do cosplay that will fulfill that need if you need it.
They will do any kind of pose in any kind of costume you can think of. It's there. It's online.
we live in a wonderful world where chicks like to dress up as superheroes nowadays.
They love to do it, yes.
We didn't have that back then. Like, I didn't have that when I was a kid.
Right. And none of these chicks.
You got your ass whooped. You got your ass whooped if you dressed up like a superhero and if it wasn't Halloween. You know?
Right. And these chicks do it now. These chicks don't know any of these superheroes. They never read a comic, probably never even watched the movies. They just want to look sexy. That's it. And
they get paid to be hot.
Yes, they get paid to be hot because they know if they dress up as sexy Rogue or Psylocke or like that, you dumbasses will throw money at them. That's why.
Yep.
So there you go. So there's no agenda for sexy cosplay chicks like that. So
stop going to Disney Plus for a stroke session. You know, there's other places you can do that. You know,
it's the internet. It's free. It's anything.
Yes,
man, whatever.
Yes, we live in a wonderful world where that's possible. Free porn. It's great. It's awesome. Amazing.
For now, the government's gonna lock down all this shit eventually.
yeah, man.
Hold on, what do we got here? I feel attacked. That's what I'm saying. So yes, so everybody just quit bitching because Rogue's ass is not plump, juicy watermelons behind you. Just have fun watching robots get blown up. That's what you should watch X-Men for.
Yeah,
robots getting blown up. That's it. So yeah,
and the soap opera. Who's fun?
Oh yes, and the soap opera. Who's fucking who? Man, Gambit looked so sad when he found out Rogue was cheating on Magneto. It was so sad, Eli. You would have shed a tear. And that's the thing. Like this whole. It was honestly X-Men was like for 90s kids. It was their first soap opera. It really was. Because it was the first sequential cartoon out there. Like Transformers, everything was a one shot. G.I. Joe, everything was a one shot.
No one was fucking anybody on G.I. Joe or Transformers. Right. I mean, sure. I mean, I had the Baroness figure, and you know, I did stuff with her figure with my other figure, but you never saw it on the show.
That's your headcanon. That's your headcanon.
That's my romantic. That's my romance.
Right.
That's what I thought was romantic. But but yeah, you didn't see that shit on. Yeah, there was no robots fucking on Transformers or there was none of that shit. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Not on Smurfs, you know. Plus, it was only one, so I don't know how that. I don't even want to know how that worked. Anyway, can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Well, it sounds like you're excited because when I brought this up. Like a month ago, or the trailer, they dropped the trailer. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Because I got to be honest with you, because I never really was that into the TV show, the cartoon. I wasn't into it like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I was like the biggest X-Men fan you could find, but I didn't care for the TV show because one, the animation was choppy, the animation was cheap. I saw back then, like, it's okay. Two, they butchered the storylines on here. They always putting Bishop and Days of Future Past when it was there, and Cable over here, and replacing Rogue when Colossus was there. They were just fucking up the storylines just because they wanted to. And
it wasn't comic book accurate.
It wasn't comic book accurate. The book was better. Yeah. Wolverine was a punk. I'm just saying he was a jobber. Yeah. He always got his ass whooped. He couldn't smoke. He couldn't chop up people. All he could do was just talk shit and get his ass whooped. That's all he could, because he couldn't really go in because it was a Saturday morning cartoon. So them Sabretooth versus Wolverine fights was supposed to have been epic, bloody.
They're just tossing each other around. It's a wrestling. It's a WWE wrestling.
Yeah. One
pro
toss
wrestling.
And then Sabretooth runs away. Like, what the fuck is this? You know, give me the mutant massacre, the Morlock massacre with Sabretooth just runs through everybody. You can't do that in there. So I was like, but I didn't hate it because it was like some X-Men better than X-Men. So I watched the cartoon like, sorry. And while everybody else in my class was like, it's the greatest thing ever. X-Men. I'm like, sorry. And first, since I you
were the actually guy.
I was the actually guy before actually even was a thing. I was that guy. I didn't say it. So, and plus, since I read the comic, I already knew where the storyline of the cartoon was going. I already knew that. So when Cable shows up and everybody's freaking out, like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And I'm just telling everybody, oh, that's Cable. Who? Yeah. He's Cyclops' son. And you can see everybody in my class like shocked, just mind blown. Did I just mean myself, Eli? Anyway. like their mind was blown just like that. But anyway, so I think we talked about X-Men long enough. Can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Eli, I'm gonna let you go first. I don't know what's going next. We have a trailer haul, and I'm gonna yeah. I'm gonna just start off with whatever this is. What is that? I can't see that. Oh,
Alien Romulus, the new Alien movie.
Let's talk about that. Well, you can talk about that.
Okay. 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 Oh,
there we go. There we go. I can't see shit. So yeah.
So yeah.
What am I supposed to be looking at with this?
Well, Alien. It's a new Alien movie. Xenomorphs and shit. It's supposed to take place, I think, between the first movie and the second movie.
Okay.
I think that's the timeline. But the guy who directed, what's his name? Fede Alvarez. He directed, I think, Don't Breathe and the Evil Dead remake. So he's trying to bring it. Yeah, he swears he's going to bring it back to its horror roots. The haunted house slasher themes of the original movie. So I mean, the trailer looked pretty cool. I have hopes for it because I did not like. Was it Alien Covenant? I wasn't into the Prometheus movies. I just wasn't into that.
They do tie into the world, universe, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think Prometheus is supposed to be like a prequel, I believe, and then Covenant, I think, is but I just he's trying to be all philosophical, about humanity's origins and all that shit and whatever. You get that? I think those movies get too caught up in this whole. Talking about where humans came from, and I just whatever. I didn't care. Just give me xenomorphs fucking up shit. And so I have hopes for this. I have hopes for this movie. So yeah, I am cautious though. But yeah, I'll be checking it out. So
one thing I do like about the Alien movies, like the franchise in general. No movie feels like the next movie.
No,
I think that's a good thing. It's like they really like dip into genre. Like the first one, horror. It was just horror. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's a slasher movie on space. Yeah,
it was a slasher movie in space. The second movie, action movie. That's what it was.
Yeah, war flick. It was a war movie.
War flick. That's what it was. And I like it. They they're not afraid to play around with the genre.
Yeah, the third one tries to take it back to its roots. Is like the whole haunted house thing.
Well, like I said, we know that the studio pushed that movie. We know that.
Yeah. And then Alien Resurrection, which I do enjoy. I know people shit on it, but I enjoy it.
I thought we were about to go to war for a second for Resurrection because I kind of have a soft spot for the Resurrection.
Yeah, because by that time I was reading the comics. I was reading those Dark Horse comics, and Alien Resurrection sort of kind of
that felt like the most comic booky.
Yeah, it dips into that comic book lore.
But Eli, why we're not allowed to watch that movie though, right?
Oh, because Joss Whedon wrote it?
Joss Whedon wrote it, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we're canceled. So
yeah. And then the Aliens versus Predator movies are just kind of cheesy and stupid. I'm not the biggest fan. I actually I think, is it Requiem? I like that better because it's so stupid.
I hate that movie. That felt like a video game.
They suck. No, don't get me wrong. Those movies suck. But out of them, I find the second one better. But yeah, I mean, and then like I said, the Prometheus movies get just too little esoteric and heady, and humans were created by giant white people. Okay,
right. But it's still better, different from any other movie they've done before. It's a difference. So
yeah, they try. Yeah, they do. And then Covenant is just a kind of an extension of what they were doing in Prometheus.
So no matter what direction they go, I'll give them credit for that they always try to break new ground with the franchise. Just
that is
tone-wise, story-wise.
I got to give it. But this one looks like they're taking it back to the OG roots. So we'll see. We'll see.
All right, let's see. Let's go to this. This one, I need you to talk about this one. Okay.
Star Wars Acolyte.
So Star Wars Acolyte. So what am I getting with this? Because I don't even. I think I watched trailer. I don't know if I watched trailer, but yeah.
Shit. I thought it looked pretty cool. So this is like the first live action High Republic era stuff.
Yeah.
So remember a few years ago they launched the Star Wars High Republic era, which is supposed to be like 200 years before the events of episode, the Skywalker saga, episode 1. And it's just that time period. So this takes place during that time. So it doesn't have any connection to Skywalker or Darth Vader or any of that shit. The only person that's still in there is Yoda because he's like 800 years old. There is a younger version of Yoda, during the High Republic.
Is he swole like Piccolo on Dragon Ball Z?
No, I think he just has like blonde hair or something. He doesn't have white hair.
Okay. I thought he could be like 6'5" or some shit.
So yeah, and I guess this takes place during that time. But as I was watching the trailer, it looks like Sith are like kind of making themselves known. So I've read I read a bunch of the comics, the High Republic comics, and I read one of the novels. So I'm not clear. I'm not like an expert on the High Republic era. I don't know what they've done. But as far as I knew, there were no Sith. The Sith were like considered extinct at the time. I mean, they were in the background.
They said that in the movies. They said it was like Darth Maul, and then it was 1,000 years before they saw him. So,
they were gone for a millennia. I do know that they were like laying low at the time, but they didn't make themselves known. So the fact that they're making themselves known during the Acolyte, it leads me to, this is just me theorizing, it leads me to believe this is probably towards the end of the High Republic era, like maybe 100 years before episode 1. So I just theorized like maybe we're going to see Darth Plagueis.
Oh, don't do that, Eli. Don't do that. Don't sell me on this show. And then that shit don't happen. So
100 years, maybe a young version of him. Maybe he's an apprentice or something, and I don't know. Okay. But I saw this and I was excited because, like I'm saying, I'm sick of the Skywalker saga. They've ripped their fist into that and just ripped it apart. Every little single detail has just been played out. Get away from that era. Get away from that timeline. Get away from those characters. Let's see some new shit. And that's what I hope with this. That's why I was excited about the High Republic era, because it doesn't connect to the Skywalker saga. So that's why I'm excited about this.
All right, can I get my thoughts on like now that you start talking, I just remember what I did think about the trailer when I watched it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. My thoughts. It didn't suck.
No.
Now let me go in a little detail about that. Because I watched this and it felt like, okay, if Star Wars name wasn't on it, I might still watch this.
Rebel Moon.
It did give me Rebel Moon feel like Rebel Moon if it was good. It did feel like that. But my thing is this: I'm tired of watching Disney Star Wars shit, and all the lightsabers are way better on YouTube than they're on this big $300 million Disney blockbuster. Like, YouTube shouldn't be kicking their ass in Star Wars. That should be where I find the best Star Wars one. Where I was watching Acolyte and I feel like, oh, they're trying to do creative stuff here. Like, okay.
Well, Trinity, what's her face? Trinity from the Matrix. She's like the Jedi. She's like doing kung fu. I was like, oh shit. Like,
okay.
I about busted a nut right there watching it.
And I think I read some shit behind. I don't know, like maybe comments like that or behind the scene. Like they actually had some people on there that aren't into Star Wars working on it. Not everybody. Not saying that everybody's winning blind. I know, like they had some people on there that are not familiar with Star Wars and just watched and see what they would do with it. Which is of course,
There's the people out there
rely on the name too much, right?
That I've seen those articles pop up. I've seen those videos. I've seen the complaints. Disney's Star Wars sucks. They got people who never seen the show working on these shows.
That's a good thing. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, that is a good thing. And when I read like the director's comments, she said, I don't want to be blind, because the director is a fan. The creator of the show is a fan, like a lifelong fan. And she's like, I don't want to be like blinded and biased by my own fandom.
Right.
And so please, somebody who's not into the shit, let me keep the story focus on story, not just throw a bunch of Easter eggs in there and member berries and shit.
It's nothing wrong with getting another perspective.
That's what it's a fresh eyes on something, just to keep it focused, and I do think that's a good thing,
Right, and plus, like you said, Trinity from the Matrix in there. Rue from Hunger Games is in there. I don't remember anybody from Hunger Games other than Rue and Jennifer. What's her face? Yeah. Oh, and X-23 is in it.
Oh yeah, she's like an alien Jedi, whatever. Yeah,
some shit. So yeah, So I'm looking forward to it. Now, I don't know, but at least I'm like, okay, you have my attention. That's all you can do. You got my attention right now. So
yeah, I thought it looked pretyou cool. Of course, everyone's out there bitching because it's woke, because there's no white folks in it or whatever.
Women, woke, no ass, whatever. Can we talk about X-Men for a second? Okay.
Oh, I'm about to say, like, all the bitches, like, who's worse now? Which fan's worse?
Right.
Star Wars fans or X-Men fans? Like,
right. Or Marvel in general. Star Wars or Marvel. It's kind of like in the same boat, but yeah. But my thing about this, okay, because like I said, Eli, I had this glowing praise of X-Men, the cartoons like that. And online it's getting a lot of good praise on it. Matter of fact, I think it's like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So here's my thing. All those grifters or YouTube grifters that was bitching about X-Men, about this and that and all the stuff like that, when good reviews came out and all the positiveness came out about it, they're quiet. They're not saying anything. They're trying to rip into it. Like if it was the Marvels, they'd make a 50 million videos about that. But since people like this and people are praising this, they're quiet as a church mouse. Like where are they? Okay,
no one clicked on their shit.
No one clicked on the shit. They're not making it. No, I looked for them. I went on the usual suspect. I went on there. Where's the X-Men review video? Nothing. But if it was Batwoman, it'd be 50 million videos on it and shit like that. So that's my thing. So it's very odd. It's like almost like they don't want to go against their brand, so they can't praise Disney on anything. So yeah. So what we talk about? Oh, last one. Let's talk about this.
But anyways, I'm excited to see Acolyte. I'm excited to see Trinity become a Jedi and do Star Wars kung fu shit. So
she's been in everything else but that. She's in Marvel. She's in Matrix. So yeah. So all right. So what we got?
The Penguin. This I'm totally stoked about.
Okay. So out of the three we just talked about, which are you more so
probably this one.
Penguin. Okay. So Penguin. What's second?
Star Wars probably.
Okay.
And then Aliens.
Then Aliens. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Cool. I'm cautious about Aliens because the recent Alien movies don't have the best track record. That's why. So,
gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm totally stoked for the Penguin show. They dropped the trailer. It's Colin Farrell, who I thought killed it as the Penguin in that Batman movie.
Yes.
This is like Matt Reeves is behind this show, so it's in that same universe. It's like, from what I understand, taking place right after the Batman movie. Mm-hmm. So it's all about the Penguin's rise to power.
Because there's a vacuum now.
Yeah. Because Don Falcone's dead, so all the mobsters are gonna come out of the woodwork trying to gain power, and he's trying to establish it himself. So I'm just excited to see a gritty street level mob story in the Batman universe. So I'm stoked. I mean, you saw I've watched this trailer like 1,000 times because I can't stop watching him. Like, even when I watch the Batman movie, I think he steals the movie. Like, the very few scenes that the Penguin's in, he steals the whole show. So I'm like just mesmerized by his performance. That that's Colin Farrell. Doesn't look anything like him.
Right. He completely is hidden in that role. So
he's in a fat suit. He's in all these prosthetic makeups. He's got that that New York drawl accent, Eastern accent. I mean, he totally disappeared and became this character. And I just keep watching him, and I watched this trailer a bunch. I've noticed a bunch of things. The Iceberg Lounge is in shambles, you know what I mean? Because of the flood from the Riddler from the last movie. Clancy Brown. At first, when I saw him show up, I'm like, no way, is that Lex Luthor?
Because you just heard him talk first.
Because he does the voice of Lex Luthor, but I'm like, no,
he does the voice of Lex Luthor. So if he was off screen just talking, it would fuck you up. So
yeah, I think he's playing a mobster. And it just shows.
Oh, I think he's playing what is it, Salvaroni or whatever his name?
Salvatore Maroni.
I think he's playing Maroni.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I think he is. But yeah.
All right. Yeah. That shows some shots of Arkham and stuff. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm I love that Batman movie. I loved it. I know people it's kind of divisive. I know people said it was boring, it was long, and nothing happened. And I loved it, and I'm stoked for this show. So yeah, cool. Totally stoked. Right. Excited for this one.
All right, so next one, video game section. I'm gonna just breeze through this quickly. There was a new Marvel video game announced. It was called 1943: The Rise of Hydra. It was that Black Panther and Captain America game that we heard about last year. We didn't really know too much detail about it, but now they've actually got like a trailer going on right now. Trailer looks great, and it's a 4-player game. So you got, of course, Captain America. 4-player. It's 4-player. Yes, you got Captain America, Black Panther, not T'Challa. That is Azuri. Azuri was the Black Panther of World War II.
Oh, okay.
T'Challa's grandfather. So yeah.
Okay.
Also the other two people on the far right, Gabriel Jones. Gabriel Jones was in one of the Howler Commandos. Matter of fact, I think he might be Marvel's first black character. I think he predates Bill Foster and T'Challa. He was the trumpet player. And matter of fact, he was in Captain America: The First Avenger. The one black guy. That was one black. Yeah. And the one on the end, a Wakandan spy. I can't remember her name. I never heard of her before, but that's it. So it's a 4-player game. You're going through fucking up Hydra. That's what it is. So yeah.
It looked cool. Also, like the trailer looked cool. Yeah.
The trailer cool. The trailer, this game is the first game made by, I think, the creative Uncharted. Or the head person of Uncharted, because it was Amy Hennig when I think she made the first 3 or 4. The first 3. She made the first 3 Uncharted games. Fired, quit, whatever like that, and made her own studio. So this is the first game of her own studio. So yeah, that's all I got. Move on past that. So yeah,
cool.
All right. That being said, can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay. Eli, I'm letting you go first. This is the Comic Bullies, where we talk about comic books. Eli's going first because he got a smorgasbord of comics on the table.
Well, I'll get the Star Wars. I'll do the Star Wars minute. I'll get those 2 books out the way first.
Okay.
Jango Fett #1.
Mm-hmm.
So this is So this is Jango Fett, father of Boba Fett, or should I say the clone father? Remember, Boba Fett was a clone, an altered clone of Jango Fett.
And remember, the D is silent.
The D is yeah. So yeah,
can we give some history on it also? Because yes, Jango was named after Jango, because Jango was not created by Jamie Foxx or Quentin Tarantino. It was a 60s Western. That's what it was.
Yeah, spaghetti Western.
Spaghetti Western. And George Lucas was a fan of spaghetti Westerns, and Jango was a bounty hunter in those movies. So he made his own bounty hunter named Jango. Yeah. So it's a callback to that. So yes.
Yeah. And he's a gunslinger. He's like, he's toting the double-fisted pistols and shit.
Yes.
6 shooters, 6 laser shooters or whatever.
Yeah, so it's not a coincidence. It's very much done on purpose. So,
and even the original Boba Fett was kind of modeled after like Clint Eastwood in a way,
because he had that thing.
He had the poncho and shit.
The poncho, yeah. So
and spurs. He actually, if you listen to Empire Strikes Back, you can hear the spurs and shit. So he's basically supposed to be like an outlaw gunslinger. Boba Fett. Obviously this takes place before the Clone Wars, because we know what happens to Jango in episode 2. Mm-hmm. So this is just Jango getting a job to go find this artifact. So there's these 2 alien races that are sort of unifying because some ancient artifact was they reclaimed this thing, and a bunch of like bandits came in and robbed the place and shot up the place. Took it. The intro. The very first scene is this Jango, getting a job, getting one of his bounties. He walks into a saloon, a space saloon. There, you're dead or alive. You're coming with me. And the bounty guy basically, we got to go through my cronies first. And Jango just shoots them all up and takes them away. Yeah, grapples them up and goes and takes them and goes get paid. So then we cut to these 2 alien races. They're having this ceremony where they're getting this ancient artifact back that's supposed to unify the 2 planets or whatever. And then some like space pirates come in, shoot up the place, hijack it, and just make off with this artifact. Mm-hmm. And then Jango gets, so it's again a bounty is put on somebody, you know, so much. Anyone want to get paid to go find this artifact? So Jango's like, yeah, I'll go. I'll take the job. But also other bounty hunters are after it too. So, and then there's a side plot where somebody wants Jango dead. So they find Aura Singh, who is another bounty hunter who appeared in, I think she had a little cameo in Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. And then she was on the Clone Wars cartoon a bunch. And she's like a rival bounty hunter. So they're basically paying Aura Singh to go get Jango. So that's like a little side plot. And we know what's going to happen because we know what happens to Jango. And Aura Singh is in the Clone Wars, so she's not going to kill him, and he's not going to kill her. And this is why we need to get away from the Skywalker saga. You know what I mean?
Because you already know the ending, so yeah.
We already know what happens to those characters. So yeah, but other than that, this is just fun crime shit going on in the Star Wars universe. I really like this. This is Ethan Sachs. Wrote this. He wrote the Bounty Hunters comic that I was reading for a while. I read that for a while until after the War of the Bounty Hunters. That's when I stopped. That big giant event that went on for like a year.
Yeah, that was all the Star Wars books.
Yeah, that wore me out. And was it the Crimson Empire or whatever? That's when I kind of stopped. I kind of fell off the Bounty Hunters book. But, you know, he writes a good action, you know, crime action, you know, space Western shit, you know. And that's basically what this is, space Westerns. So, yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I'm on it. And then the next book is that Star Wars Visions.
Okay.
And is this my book of the week? This might be my book. I don't know. It's pretty fucking cool. Star Wars Visions. It's a spin-off of the show, that animated show on Disney Plus, which has it's an anthology series of different tales from the Star Wars universe and done in different animation styles. And the one everyone's favorite is the Ronin story. So we get a Jedi who is a Ronin, a lone Jedi that goes and hunts Sith. Mm-hmm. And it's basically drawn in a manga style, samurai. It's basically a samurai story. It's Lone Wolf and Cub with lightsabers. Okay. And in this story, he's basically doing the same shit. He's walking the wasteland, hunting down Sith, getting in duels with Sith lords, taking them out. And then we get a flashback of where he kind of his past, where he kind of just wandered into a village and where he found that droid that's his homie. And, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty dope. You know, I really dig the art style. It really pops. It's got that anime or manga style.
Yeah, that kinetic feel.
Yes. A lot of visceral fucking, you know, just inertia. I mean, yeah, just those panels are dope. Just those angles. I mean, look at that shit. That shit's dope.
Yeah, this is my favorite one right here. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's just cool to see the influences. You know, it comes full circle. You know, because Star Wars was influenced by a lot of things, not just Dune. Everybody, all the Dune fans out there that didn't exist until 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Star Wars didn't own. Dune wasn't the only influence on Star Wars. He was influenced by Flash Gordon. He was influenced by Camelot, and you know, Beowulf,
by samurai movies.
Yeah, and samurai. I mean, Jedi.
Doctor Who, Star Trek.
Yes,
Westerns,
Jedi
Westerns.
I believe the word Jedi is derived from a Japanese word.
Yeah, I think I can't remember what it means, but like World War II plane movies.
Yes,
yeah, when they're going into the Death Star, that's just World War II dog fighting. That's all it is. So
yeah. So yeah, it's just cool to see those influences come back and sort of come full circle. You see, like, you know, yes, samurai films influenced Star Wars, and now samurai manga is influenced by Star Wars. You know what I mean? So that's what I like about this, because he even like they don't say Jedi. They call themselves swordsmen, and he's the Ronin. He's like, we live by the sword. He's not saying the lightsaber, but they're calling them swords and stuff. So it is like I said, basically a samurai manga with lightsabers, and it's pretty fucking dope. So just a breath of fresh air, which I think Star Wars needs.
It does. Yeah, it's just fresh eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, so dope. I'll give this a 5 out of 5. This might be my book of the week.
There we go. All right, so it's on me now. Where we're gonna go? All right, so I guess the first book I'll do is I do get it downloaded. Fan freaking tastic. First book we're going to do is damn it, Eli, I can't read anything. I can't see shit. Here you go. What is that? Is that Iron Man? I'm pretending like it's Iron Man. Okay, we're gonna do Invincible Iron Man number, I don't know, whatever this is.
Is this the kaiju Iron Man book?
This is the one.
So the giant mech, whatever.
The giant mech battle. Yeah, the what? Yeah. I'm sorry, that's Black Habit. I can't sing that because we would get sued. So Kanye learned it the hard way. Anyway, what's going on right now is that they have this big, huge kaiju fight. He made this 50-foot Iron Man or war machine, this Iron Man suit to fight all these Iron Man Sentinels, and he's in Australia while the X-Men are falling of Xing, because this is all tied into the fall of X, so whatever. So yeah, it's all part of it. So let's get to it. Let's see what we got. Bam. So yeah, and the thing I like about this book, it's all splash pages. Even the name of the story is Splash Damage. I see what they did. I see what you're doing, Marvel. Okay, so the book starts
all action.
Just all action, just a big ass fight scene. So it starts off with basically Iron Man and his giant Sentinel Buster to fighting a whole bunch of Iron Man Sentinels, and they're all rushing in at him right now. And he just telling everybody, okay, if there's any pilots in these Orchis Iron Man suits, you better get at him right now because I'm smashing everybody and I don't care. So he grabs one, rips a hole through him, unibeams a bunch of them and starts missile launching a bunch of them, and then starts blasting all of them. I'm just loving this shit, man. Just loving all this shit. He just going to war. Takes two of them, smashing together. But while he's doing it, if you can see in the right-hand corner, I can't scroll to it, but in the right-hand corner, a War Machine Iron Man suit is coming towards him, and it turns out it is Fei Long. So Fei Long's coming for him, and he's blasting the shit out of him right now. And he's like, "Oh, you coming to surrender?" He's like, "Fuck no, I ain't coming to surrender. I'm coming to kill you right now." There you go. Oh, we got it here. So yeah, so Fei Long is blasting him right now. Iron Man's trying to hold them off, and but they're still coming at him. Because the thing is, okay, so this is the biggest suit that Iron Man has ever made, and it's the most powerful suit he's ever made. So there's one weakness to this suit: it don't have enough battery in it. The juice is draining way faster than anywhere else. So he only has a limited amount of time to blow up all these Sentinels and beat Fei Long before his suit completely runs out of battery. So while he's doing that, they all rush him. All the Iron Man Sentinels rush him at one time, because the thing is, these Iron Man Sentinels are basically Iron Man suits. They're just as tough as Iron Man, but they're Sentinels. And they all attack him at one time and smash him down to the ground. So while he's fighting them off, so he realized, okay, I ain't got much time left before they take me out. Yeah. Whoosh. So he like, Fei Long, bring your ass down here, fight me man to man. So he actually gets out of the suit, because the Sentinel Buster is about to go dead anyway. So he gets out of the suit by himself while blasting a whole bunch of them. But the Sentinel Buster is like on autopilot, so it's still smashing other robots. So when that happens, that's when Fei Long decides to come for him. So he's coming for him right now, and bam, blast him. But he's like, okay, I'm still in the fight, but it's enough to knock him down. And that's when what goes on right now. Yeah, Fei Long like, okay, no, you have a weakness. So even though his suit is completely invulnerable, his arc reactor isn't. So Fei Long punches a hole through the Sentinel Buster's arc reactor. And while Tony flies back in the suit and is in it, I don't know why he took his helmet off. That's dumb as fuck. But anyway, when Fei Long does that, something hits him in the head and knocks him out cold. So now he's unconscious. The suit is the whole Sentinel Buster completely runs out of juice, and it falls to the ground. He's unconscious, and he gets a warning now. So he only killed half of the Sentinel robots. The other half are coming for him right now while he's on the ground, and he just got a warning from the suit that Fei Long is in the suit right now, coming for him. To be continued.
Oh, so, damn.
Yeah, that's the book.
I was getting into that, actually.
Yeah, that's the whole book. I'm like, fuck, like it can't end like that. So yeah, so that's, and the X-Men can't save because the X-Men got their own bullshit going on. So yeah. I don't know what's going on. Hey, 5 out of 5.
Well, yeah, like they're in Antarctica,
they're
in
Australia. They're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Nobody knows they're there. Yeah. Tony is by himself. and Fei Long is in the suit. He's in the suit about to come to him. So yeah. 5 out of 5. Fucking 5 out of 5. This is my book of the week. I don't know why anybody's not read this book. This is a book everybody needs to read. So that's all I got.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, moving on past that. What you got that there?
All right, I guess I'll read, or I'll do Nightwing number 112.
Okay. The Batman is in this one.
Yeah, so this is Batman and Nightwing investigating those the Heartless. They think Heartless is back, the serial killer that's ripping out hearts.
Yeah.
That's supposedly dead.
Mm-hmm.
So in the last issue, Dick was investigating. Yeah, someone was murdered. This guy was murdered by a Heartless, or they found him with his heart ripped out, and his son is an orphan now, and he went to go. So, the son is living with his uncle now. They start investigating, find out that this is it looks like Heartless did it, but it doesn't. Like the incisions aren't as clean, So they start doing this investigating. It turns out that the dad is like the guy who got killed. He owns some like corporation in Vietnam. So they go and invest. They go to Batman and Nightwing go to Vietnam, and they find the guy. It turns out that he had his brother killed and the wife killed, and tried to steal their fortune and made it look like Heartless did it. So Nightwing beats the shit out of him and takes the kid back, and that's basically all that happens. But this is like an emotional story because it's more about Bruce sort of working with Dick and seeing how much he's grown. Starts out with like he's remembering when he first got Dick Grayson as a kid and how angry he was and how he related to him because he went through the same shit, and how he sort of like channeled his anger and and just watched Dick grow up to become Nightwing and do the things he do. There's a really cool moment that I found very heartwarming, where he before they go to Vietnam, they go to Titan's Tower because Nightwing's on the Titans. So they go stop at Titan's Tower so Dick could re-up and get some shit, and runs into Beast Boy. And Beast Boy, as you know, in the Titans book, Beast Boy, he's kind of going through some shit right now because he got blamed for the whole Beast World thing. Even though he saved the world, people are like looking at him now like he's a monster and he caused it and all that shit. And so Beast Boy's going, doesn't have the best image right now. People kind of hate him,
Mm-hmm.
So Bruce talks to Beast Boy and and he's like, hey, what do you do when people, he's like, you've been a superhero for a long time. Like, and a lot of people don't like you. What do you do about it? And Bruce Wayne is just like, well, are you a Titan because you want people to like you, or do you want to help people?
Right.
And Gar's like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, don't worry about what other people think. Just focus on helping people. That's what we're here to do. Like, it doesn't matter what people think, and the people who really know what's going on are going to appreciate it. That's what you focus on. So it was a really heartwarming moment that Bruce wasn't an asshole and kind of, comforts Beast Boy. So that was cool. But yeah, they go to Vietnam and track down this guy, basically bust him and take the kid back. And the last panel is just Bruce Wayne going, I don't know what's going to happen to that kid, but I know Nightwing, he's in good hands with Nightwing, and Nightwing will do what he has to do to make sure the kid's safe. I got to trust in Nightwing, So it's more about like Batman realizing how cool Nightwing is. That's it. This wasn't like a big superhero battle. You know what I mean? It was just them on a case. Batman and Nightwing on a case together, solving a crime, solving a murder, and saving a kid's life. And no high stakes, world ending stakes was involved. It was just them on a simple case, and them sort of, Batman just sort of realizing how mature Nightwing is, and how proud he is of Dick. So, that's Tom Taylor, man. Tom Taylor, y'all just getting into the emotional depth, the anchor of these characters. So, which is what he's always been good at. So yeah, 4 out of 5.
Nice. Okay. Nightwing still going strong. Okay, my last book. Sorry, you know what? Before I get done, I didn't review Black Panther #10. The reason I didn't because I didn't even know it came out. Eli, when I looked on the Comixology list of Black Panther 10, it was way down there.
Yeah, that new list on we're gonna have to do a whole episode on just bitching about Comixology.
We might have to. We'll probably get 100 views on there if we do this shit. Like, we might be our biggest one. Now, because the thing is, what I was talking about, because that Black Panther book, that's the end of that series. So it's done.
Oh no, shit! The one Ewing or whatever her name is.
Yeah, the Burning T'Chaka where he was in the slums and shit like that. Yeah. They canceled that book. Yeah.
Oh, they got Ultimate on there. Well, because everyone's on Ultimate. Isn't it?
Everybody's on Ultimate, so fuck it, whatever. We don't need to install in the main story. So what do we got? Okay, next book I'm going to do. Well, last book I'm going to do is Superman number. I don't know, whatever it says. I can't read that shit. The point is, this is actually the end of this run. Well, I'm sorry, the end of this arc. The end of this arc we're doing right now.
The main Superman book.
The main Superman book, yeah, where we have the Lex Luthor Revenge Squad. This is wrapping up.
Yeah. So, I don't even know what's going on. I fell off of this a while ago.
Yeah, well, this is the end of. So they're going on something completely different after this. So let's get to it. Let's see what we got. All right. So the book is what we got here. Okay, so for those of you keeping up with the book, basically going on right now is that the Lex Luthor Revenge Squad has unleashed kryptonite on all of Metropolis. Now, why is it a big deal? Because of kryptonite. Well, here's the thing, what you didn't know about kryptonite. Kryptonite can kill regular people also. It's dangerous to us too, as well as Kryptonians. The difference is it kills us slower. But what Lex Luthor did, back in the day, is create a kryptonite formula that was potent to humans. So it would kill us as fast as it would kill Kryptonians.
Well, it's it's supposed to be radioactive.
Yeah, it's radioactive. It would kill us just like it would kill them. But the point is, if you put this kryptonite in the Metropolis, it would kill everybody as instantly as it would kill a Kryptonian.
Yeah.
And Superman, recovering from getting his ass kicked by the Lex Luthor Revenge Squad, is trying to recover, and he just and Lex Luthor punched the shit out of his too. And somewhere he just got a Superman suit out of nowhere, his old Rebirth Superman suit. He found that shit. He's like, look, I'm going to go out there, Superman, and I'm going to find a way to stop that kryptonite from taking over the city. And Superman's just like, I'm going to go help you. He's like, no, you're not. Because if you come and help me, it will kill you instantly. Well, it will kill you too. No, I'm going to have my, filters on and shit like that where it won't kill me as long as I have my suit on. Now, if I get a break in this suit, I'm dead. But as long as I can hold up, I'll try to find a way to stop this gas from going everywhere. And Superman's like, well, fine, go out there, Superman. And that's Lex Luthor's daughter, Lena Luthor. She's part Brainiac. Don't ask me why. It's a thing.
Okay, because that's the last arc I was reading. Brainiac was doing shit, and then I never finished it. So he had a kid, I guess.
Well, it's not Lex Luthor and Brainiac's kid. It's not that, but they aren't that close.
Part Brainiac.
But she is part Brainiac. It's a weird thing. But anyway, so Superman's just like, okay, I want everybody to work in the Supercorp, this company that Lex Luthor gave Superman that he's been ignoring for the whole time. He's like, I want everybody that works in Supercorp to come to my office right now. And Superman's like, okay, we are going to put together a plan right now. While Lex Luthor is trying to formulate a plan to get rid of this kryptonite, we are going to help him. And I want everybody to put their brain power together, get things together, and bring me the best plan. Get your ass to work. Get to work. And everybody just runs like, go, go, go. So everybody just takes off the work and starts working. Lex Luthor has no clue how to do that. He's basically telling Superman, the only way that you can help me get rid of this is to you got to know as much about kryptonite as I do. And Superman's right there, Lex Luthor, I know more about kryptonite than you do. Kryptonite's been trying to kill me since I was a teenager. I am the world's leading expert on kryptonite. And Superman's like, well, if you think you're going to find a way to stop this, well, you're going to have to find a way to reverse my formula and find a counteractive formula and get rid of this formula, which means, Superman, you have to be smarter than me. And Superman's like, okay, that's it. All right. And Superman Lex like, man, fuck you, Superman. And so he's with his daughter, Lena. She's like, okay, let's put a plan together. Let's find out what to do. So they're looking at the kryptonite and they realize what happened. And he's like, first thing, Lex, I want you to tell me exactly how did you get into contact with Dr. Farm and Grab, basically the supervillains of this thing. And Lex was telling her, okay, Superman, I grew up in this town that you may not have heard of, but it's called Smallville. Yeah, he doesn't know his secret. Saying that's where he found kryptonite. He found kryptonite in Paul Kent's farm. And Clark finds, he's like, what are you doing in my dad's farm? He was like, leave me alone. He's like, Lex, I know who you are. We're going to the same class. It's me, Clark. And he was like, don't worry about that. Like, if you want to know about farming, I could just ask my dad. He was like, don't talk to me about no damn farming. I'm not here for the farm. And he gets close to yell at Clark, and while he's got the kryptonite in his hand, Clark gets, woozy, because that's the first time he's ever been in contact with kryptonite. And he's like, I see why you're getting sick, because the air in Smallville stinks. So the first chance I get, I'm getting out of here. And the moment he walks off, Clark gets better. So that's when he goes to Metropolis. And for those who don't know, there's a complete retcon. Lex Luthor was apparently Metropolis' first superhero, I guess. So he's been in Metropolis fighting bad guys, and the bad guys he was fighting was Farm and Dr. Graff, the guys that we're fighting now. And he found out that they have kryptonite, and they more about kryptonite than he does. So instead of fighting these guys, he decides to team up with them. Yeah. So that's how he became a supervillain. Yeah, so it became, and they basically find out all kind of ways about kryptonite, what kryptonite can do, what kryptonite can't do, all the different colors, red kryptonite, yellow kryptonite, whatever kryptonite. And basically, Lex Luthor says, yeah, so basically what happened, once I found out everything they knew about kryptonite, I got rid of them. I found a way to get rid of them. And like, so that's what you always do, isn't it, Lex? Because it's the same thing you did to me. And this is Lex Luthor's mama. She created the Lex Luthor Revenge Squad, stole his war suit, and now is trying to kill him. And she's the one that let the kryptonite all over the city, which was his formula. She was like, because she's pissed that when she brought Lex Luthor to Metropolis, Lex took over her company. LexCorp was her company. He took it over and kicked her out. So now she wants to kill him and kill everybody in Metropolis, blame him on it. So Lex Luthor just like, nah, mom, you're not doing that. So basically, Lex Luthor is fighting his mom for the next few pages and shit like that, while Superman's trying to find a cure for this kryptonite. So they're basically saying that, okay, so the only way we can do, and Lois Lane shows up. She says, Superman, are you okay? And she's like, oh, we'll talk later, Miss Lane. And you're like, you damn right we will. So they look at all the different kryptonite stuff like that, and basically what they're saying is that we can find a cure for the kryptonite, but we need a giant battery that can drain the solar energy from the kryptonite. But we were going to find a battery like that. Superman's like, we got a battery right here in Supercorp, and the battery is Parasite. And he's like, look, Rudy, all you got to do is, he just, they kept him chained up in Supercorp because they beat him like a couple of issues ago. So like, okay, Rudy, what I need you to do is drain the solar energy from this kryptonite. He's like, okay, Superman, I'm here to help. He's not even being a bad guy. He's trying to help Superman. So they turn the thing on, and Parasite drains the radiation from the kryptonite. Because apparently, since Superman is powered by solar energy, if you power up kryptonite to solar energy, it does weird shit also. So once they do that, once he drained the solar energy from kryptonite, it makes it inert. That's what he did. So like, okay, so we basically found a cure for the thing. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor is beating his mama's ass, I guess. And Superman is basically telling him, Lex, we found the cure. And he's like, look, I ain't got time for this. I'm like, no, you listen to me, Lex Luthor. I have the cure. I'm gonna send the coordinates, the code to your war suit. You basically use this shit on the kryptonite, and it will make the kryptonite inert, and it won't kill anybody else. So you got two choices. You either save the city or you fight your mama. Which one are you gonna do? And Lex was like, fine, I whoop my mama's ass later on. So he flies up to the top. He gets the coordinates, and he puts some stuff out there, basically makes the kryptonite inert and gets rid of it. But he's got to stand there right doing it. While he's doing it, his mom is basically like, switch to lethal weapons. And that's right, Lex, I brought you in this world, and I can. And while we're doing that, we get to so Lena Brainiac Luthor, whatever like that. She basically talking to the AI of the Supercorp, and basically, how do I turn off my grandma's suit? And she was like, well, I can do it, but if I turn off your grandma's suit, I'm gonna cut off your dad's suit. She's like, okay, cool, do it. So when she does that, I can take you, and then both of their suits go powerless. And since they were always at the top of Metropolis, they both go falling to the bottom. Yeah. And that's when, boom, Superman catches him. Since there's no more kryptonite in the city, now he can fly around the city. So he catches them. They arrest Luthor's mom. She goes to jail. And the city is praising both of them, Lex and Superman. So, yeah. So the Lex Luthor Revenge Squad has all been locked up. They're not locked up in Stryker. They're locked up in some other place. Meanwhile, Luthor is back locked up in Stryker, but since they praise him as a city, he's on good behavior, and basically just like, and Superman's just telling him, okay, Luthor, what else are you lying to me about? Like, nothing. I'm lying about anything. But he did the heart thing to see if he was lying. But obviously it doesn't work on Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor knows how to fool him with that shit. So he's just talking to Lois, and They're just saying that everything worked out for the best. Like let's go to Paris and have lunch, but we can't do that because this thing isn't wrapped up yet. Because I don't know how those guys got out to begin with, and we see a fist break out of some building and. Lobo?
There he is.
So apparently, whatever that thing that you read, Eli, it's coming back to that. So
yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't know where that happened. I remember Lobo showing up at some point, and Brainiac.
Oh, and Brainiac shows up.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So that's the next story.
Yeah. That's the next storyline. So yeah.
Well, maybe I'll jump back on. Oh, because in the Action Comics, the one that Jason Aaron writing, that the Bizarro storyline is over, and they're saying the next is Brainiac or something too.
Oh, this is a cross event.
Is this going to be an event? Okay.
Yeah, this is an event. Yeah.
Well, then I'll probably jump on. Fuck it.
Okay, so that's the whole thing. So they basically clearing the deck to start that. So yeah, we're gonna do Superman versus Brainiac versus Lobo versus whatever. So yeah. So
all right.
Yeah, pretty good ending to this story. I'm enjoying this storyline. I mean, with the storyline that wrapped up. Lex Luthor and Superman being frenemies, so it's cool. I liked it. Jamal Campbell bringing it with the art, so yeah. So, all right. What you got next?
Slap a score.
4. I get a 4. Good strong story. Good strong read. So yeah. Now I'm really looking for the next issue. The next arc coming up also. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what you got?
I'll do this Dawnrunner *1.
Okay. Did I grab that? I thought I grabbed that.
So this is Ram V's new book on Dark Horse.
Ram V. Okay, cool.
It's a kind of a giant mech versus kaiju book.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like few hundred years in the future, or whatever, 100 years in the future. Big giant alien monsters came down to Earth, started fucking up the place, caused like a big giant, apocalypse. Humans built giant robots and like walls around cities to like defend themselves. And now they basically fight these giant monsters sort of like as a sport, like as entertainment now. This one chick, Anita, I think her name is, she's like the star.
Movie I saw. She kind of thick.
Oh, really? 80s? Like Robot Jocks or something?
That's what it was. Yes.
Robot Jocks, yeah.
Okay, Eli, who is this? Because she kind of thick. I ain't gonna lie.
That's that chick. I think her name's Anita. She's like the star pilot, like mech pilot.
Like y'all like complaining about Rogue. Look at the cakes on this chick, man.
Yeah. So she's like a star athlete, she's like Michael Jordan, of mech pilots. She's like a celebrity. And then she's got another rival. She's got like rival athletes, rival pilots that are like keeping scores and shit. And then there's like this corporate. Yeah. So the corporation that's running it, there's like a side plot going on where like the guy who runs the network or whatever, this league, this mech league that fights monsters. One scientist keeps warning him like, hey, there's something going on with these monsters, but we keep killing them too fast for me to study, and he just like, hey, we're in this to make money, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. We're giving people what they want after, almost the world ending. You know what I mean? So they're basically launching this new prototype, this new version of the mech. What are they called again? They have a name.
Jaeger.
Yeah, Iron Kings. That's what they're called. Iron Kings. There's like a new version, and and this Anita, the star pilot, is going to be the first one to test it out against a kaiju, and so it's like a big sports event. Everyone's watching, the whole world's watching, and so she's goes to fight this mech or goes to fight this monster, and while she's fighting it, there's some kind of weird malfunction where she starts to, because she has to hook in. I don't know if like Pacific Rim or Neon Genesis Evangelion, those animes where the pilots got to like hook into the mech suits, and kind of like the Matrix where they're plugged in. Well, she starts having weird flashback of somebody else's memories of like a soldier from when the war was going on while she's fighting. And she's like, what the hell just happened? That's kind of where it ends. Like she has this flashback while battling this monster and shit. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, if you're a fan of like, kaiju, giant mechs, Ultraman, Godzilla shit, Voltron, Robotech, you know what I mean? All that shit, Attack on Titan. Yeah, Neon Evangelion or whatever what's called, Genesis Evangelion or whatever. That type of shit, the art is pretty cool. It's got like a manga style. And the kaiju
yeah, I've
look
never
like
heard of this. You got me interested in it, so yeah.
Yeah, I was just like flipping through and I was watching This Geek in Comics, their preview show. Mm-hmm. I think Gomer highlighted this. I'm like, that sounds kind of cool. I'm gonna check that out. So okay. Shout out to Gomer and them. Yeah, like Pacific Rim, basically, So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Art was cool. The monsters look like, remember the roe beasts on Voltron?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool shit. So yeah, I think I'm on board. So 4 out of 5.
Nice. Oh, I forgot I could do that. Okay. Hey, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like this. Anyway, all right. So, you got any more books? You booked out or?
I'm booked out.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. Eli, we hit a milestone.
Another one?
Yeah, another milestone. Okay, so appreciate everybody that's following us on YouTube. Eli, YouTube is blowing up right now. I think just looking at the live of this right now is probably might be our second highest of the year already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And also, we finally hit 5K.
All right.
Yeah, on YouTube. So yeah, they just that Goku thing we did the other week, people just piling in, just shitting on us, but some people subscribe. We appreciate your hate listens and your hate subscribe. So yeah, let's see what Jake got here. I definitely watch y'all on YouTube. Yep, we know. We see the YouTube little thing right there. So we appreciate Jake. And plus, Jake, you really help us out because since you watch the whole thing through, I can see when you're watching versus everybody else. So I appreciate you on that. So yeah. Definitely check us out. Definitely check out This Geeks and Comics. They do the same podcast, do the same thing we do, but they talk about it a little different than we do. So you get 2 different perspectives on the same thing. So definitely check them out. We'll come back with something else next week. I don't know what we'll do.
They're huge X-Men fans too. So.
Are all of them huge X-Men fans or?
I know Gomer and like Taylor is.
Okay. I can't remember who's X-Men and who's not. So yeah, but I don't know how deep they're gonna go into it. We went a full hour just on X-Men and then start talking about other shit. So they may give it like 5 minutes or something, or they may go deep into it also. They may, you know what? What if Gomer goes conspiracy theory even more than I did on this shit? January 6th? No, they was doing flat Earth. Let me tell you what they were doing. Anyway, if you listen more than 30 seconds, we appreciate you. You help the algorithm out. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And at the end of the day gonna end.